Hey, hey, nice. Hey, nice. Hey, nice. Hey, nice. Hey,
Hello, good afternoon po sa ating lahat. Welcome to our webinar series. Webinar. This is presented
afternoon.
to us by the philosophy student, PhD management student, with our dear professor, Dr. George, and our dean from dean here, Dr. Dean Sar. So good afternoon to all those who are students watching us live to YouTube. And if you have questions, ready us now regarding the business management, specifically in this digital age. So kindly comment down there, and hopefully we'll have a good good afternoon discussion. So as we welcome here, let me welcome our classmates here with us, and Professor Dr. George Gamdin, Correa Pasar, Mr. Vidal, and Mr. Brian Vidal. They are live from Oman. Yes, and Dr. Ed from the Middle East. So good morning sa kanila dyan. And to our other classmates, Sir Arnold, Guy, and Sir Train. Welcome to this webinar. This afternoon again is a much exciting day, exciting afternoon as we discuss again the and challenges factors doing business digital age plus and times the complexities of the pandemic. Ano? So but before we start our webinar this afternoon, so we will have first our LPU prayer, followed by the Philippine National Anthem, and then the LPU hymn. Then we will have the opening remarks of our Dean, and we'll see the Assistant Vice President and give also his message to us. Let's put ourselves in the most holy presence of God.
Almighty Father, we raise our hearts to you in gratitude for the years of meaningful existence of LPU as an institution devoted to quality education that seeks to develop the competence and shape the character and values of our youth. We thank you for your love and the many blessings you have given to LPU. To show our gratitude by loving and caring for each other.
Sir Jix, wala siyang sound.
Amen. So, welcome again, dear students. Welcome again to our webinar this afternoon. Again, we will discuss the business management in the digital age, challenges and success factors. Let's welcome in this webinars platform our Assistant Vice President and Vice President for Academics and Research, Dr. Conrad Dotong, and later he will give to us his inspirational message. For the meantime, let's welcome our Program Dean, Dr. Ray Rafusar, to give us the opening remarks. So let's welcome Dr. Ray.
Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon, everyone. So it's my pleasure, it's my honor to welcome you all to this business forum, business management in the digital age, challenges and success factors. Guys, I believe in the ability of our PhD management students because I experienced teaching with them, and I know how they're doing inside the classroom, either in a virtual classroom or in the actual classroom, sharing their expertise, sharing their knowledge on different issues, and that gives me an idea why need natin gawin to with a larger audience, with a large audience, with undergraduate students and uh, with everyone who can watch us through this platform. I conducted your advice, your professor, Dr. George Atento, to come up with this webinar. And when Sir Jixel presented to me how it will run, how this business forum will go, so naging excited din ako. I'm very much excited kung paano talaga tatakbo itong business forum. Because it is not the typical webinar na alam natin, the way Sir Jixel presented it to me. And I even asked to invite our AVPAR, Dr. Dotong, to be with us this afternoon, to witness how this business forum will go. So good luck, everyone. I know this will be very successful. I know our students, our undergraduate students, and other stakeholders will benefit from this business forum. So good luck, and let us enjoy this afternoon.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ray Reposar. Let's give him a virtual applause. Ayan. So thank you again.
Thank you, Doc.
Indeed, the exciting times or exciting afternoon. And to inspire us more to progress further in our business endeavors, our very own Assistant Vice President for Academics and Research, the Dean of the Graduate School. Let's welcome our dear Dr. Conrad Dotong. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jaxel. Thank you. And thank you, Dean Ray. Of course, to the program dean, Dr. Ray Refusar. I know we have also our coordinator, Dr. Hads Almero. And of course, to the advisor of our PhD management students, imported Dr. Ramon George Atento, no? Our friend also, our PhD students, and of course, other graduate school students, businessmen, to all friends of College of Business Administration, graduate school, and friends of LPU Batangas. Good afternoon to everyone. No? So on behalf of the management of LPU Batangas, headed by our president, Dr. Peter P. Laurel, we would like to warmly welcome and at the same time thank you all for attending this virtual business forum or learning session, the theme of which is business management in the digital age, challenges and success factors. We are confident that our business students and businessmen out there who are with us now would be able to get something from the inputs of our PhD students that can be used as reference in the near future. And so just relax, listen, and try to digest important highlights of the discussion today. Of course, we should not forget the people behind this activity. I would like to commend the College of Business Administration, headed by Dr. Ray Refusar, our graduate school faculty members, of course, our PhD management students, through the guidance of Dr. George Atento, for organizing and holding this kind of activity. I know that the graduate school of LPU Batangas has experts in their own fields who can really share their talents and wisdom, which then can be used by many of us. And so again, to the CBA family, thank you for raising the standard of the graduate school programs of LPU Batangas. Good luck to the speakers and of course to our facilitator, Mr. Jixel, soon to be doctor. Once again, thank you for us or for being with us, and good afternoon. Keep safe, everyone.
Thank you again, Dr. Dotong.
Thank you.
We are blessed, Doc Dotong, that we are inspired by your message to us this afternoon. Tama, talagang tatapusin namin ito kahit mahirap. This is indeed an additional learning for us. Again, for our personal growth, career growth, and indeed motivating factor for us. So again, once again, thank you, Dr. Dotong. Good afternoon again, those who are streaming live with us through YouTube. Again, don't forget to subscribe. Joke lang. So our afternoon business forum is not such formal as it would be, but we will have almost around same as roundtable discussion. We will do it in such a way that our classmates, students, will throw their questions through comment section. my dear classmates from the PhD will share their expertise, experience, their perspectives and opinion about current events and current issues that we are facing times, and multiplied by the pandemic scenario. So to start with, we will discuss again the business management, and this is more than business administration. Ano ba yung pinakaiba daw ng business administration sa business management? Well, almost the same aside from spelling. But when we say business administration, it comprises more than just doing business. And we all know that the many facets of business, hindi lang siya we are not just focused on revenue, kasi revenue is just the outcome or the output of the doing good in the process. So in this afternoon, again, we will hear our sharings. We will hear expertise, experiences from our classmates in the PhD. So to start with, so let me call Dr. Ed Malagapo. So Dr. Ed Malagapo is a business owner he's currently now in the Middle East. Dr. Ed, good afternoon po sa inyo. So help us enlighten ano ba ang primary goal for you as you experience having and putting up your own business. What is your primary goal of doing it?
Okay. Number one is economic or profitability. That's the first one. Second is giving back to your people, which is employment. And the third is economic, we can say sustainability of the environment. So all of this three P's are very much necessary in order for us to do our own business, and at the same time help the economy of our country, the Philippines, in order for the next generation to be involved in the same process, and they can also generate employment for the next generations. So in other words, this is a kind of chain reaction in order for the country to flourish and give more advancement to the country, especially now that we have the so-called 30 years infrastructure projects for the Philippines. Why? Because within the next 5 to 10 years, Japan, Singapore, South Korea will soon be depleted by their resources, especially Japan. Their people now are 65 years old and above, and the remaining portion of those younger people are only between 10 to 15%. So you compare it to the Philippines, you know, how much are we now? 70% are on the millennials. And the next 30 years, being millennial at 25 to 35 years old, plus 30, you are still existing at 65. So that's the good thing. So that's why I want to challenge our millennial students now who are taking this program to be more on the side of entrepreneurship. Not only just because we are told by our parents, oh, come on, study well and then take your job. That's not the way it is. Especially that it's during pandemic, we need to exist. So my challenge is go out from your comfort zone, prepare as a businessman, be an entrepreneur. But first, you should know how to become an entrepreneur. It's not that easy. There is a risk. So in order for you to be more, we can say, prepared, then you should know how to get into entrepreneurship by having a kind of good educational qualification.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you.
so much.
Thank you, Doc, for that. That's very that's very helpful for us, no? The change of mindset or the perspective from being an employee to being an entrepreneur. But again, uh, alam mo, it is easier said than done, eh, di ba? It is easier said than done. Kasi we all know that it entails lots of investment, not just financial investment, but also knowledge. And what with what you said, Doc Ed, I think one thing that the student should pick up as early as now is that the business purpose should be sustainability. And when you say sustainability, it encompasses not just profitability, but the entirety of the business. Tama po ba, Doc? Agree?
Yes,
For that.
yes, yes.
For your experience, Doc, ito lang,
Yes.
simple question. Mahirap ba or madali ang mag-put up ng business?
Actually, it needs some kind of guts.
Guts.
Yeah, guts. Meaning to say that if you want to come into it, you are ready to fail or to succeed. It's between failure and success.
Mhm.
So, because you are ready and you have the skills, you have the talents, and you are well prepared, I think the risk there, instead of 70% risk, it might be 20 to 25% risk. So you always have to make sure whatever risk you have.
Mhm.
Use the so-called SMART goals, SMART goals, and then I know for sure that you will be successful.
Yeah. That's speaking from your own experience, sir, and that's very good, ano? So, and there is an involved risk always. Wala naman talagang walang risk. Later, our also classmates expert with risk management will share about how to minimize at least the risk. Thank you for that, Doc Ed. Ano? Talagang it really takes a guts, maraming guts. Kailangan talaga malakas yung loob mo, courageous ka to start up with your business. And syempre, as early as now, foundational learnings or the principles are very important. That's why for the students who are watching with us now, what you are doing is I can say you are just on the right track, ano, building up your career, building up your foundations. Kasi nga, again, it takes a lot of guts with so much S to do business. Ayan. So, given that we have this business startup, and we all know that it starts with a product or services that we are thinking. Siyempre, when you do business, you will also think of ano ba yung ipoprovide natin. And well, Sir Brian, can you help us ano ba yung magandang perspective in looking into or starting with business in terms of ano yung magandang i-provide or i-produce with the operations or the products itself or services, you might say.
Okay, thank
Ano ba yung
you.
tamang product ba or service or ano ba yung magandang tingnan?
Okay, so first and foremost, good morning po muna lahat. Ay, good afternoon pala. I'm sorry. We're in a different time zone. Good afternoon po. And I couldn't agree more earlier kanina with Doc Ed. It will take a lot of guts talaga and a lot of preparation for any business to succeed. Now, Sir Jix, to be honest, I get this question so many times. What is the right product? Ano ang magandang service na itayo? Everything. But to be frank with you, at this point in time in the pandemic, you said it yourself, ano, it's easier said than done. Our business climate is somewhat down right now. But it doesn't go to show that there are really no opportunities. There are opportunities. As a matter of fact, there are some businesses, for example, Zoom and every one of these mga streaming device, mga streaming applications and softwares, they all made a fortune during the pandemic. The medical sector, pharmaceutical sector made money or is still making money. They're making a killing out there, talaga sa in this chaos. So I guess the point that I'm trying to say is there will always be opportunities. And it behooves upon each and every one of us, kung magiging interested ka with putting up a business, to be more diligent. That's number one. And to be, you have to have an entrepreneurial mindset. And what I mean by that is, dapat open ka lagi in seeking opportunities. That's what separate, a businessman from a typical person. You always eye for opportunities. Now, a long time ago, I don't know if you have, I'm sure yung mga marketing students natin dyan, or any business student, in your marketing classes, you might have heard of names like Philip Cutler or McCartney, all of those people who have been talking about marketing. And there's this guy, his name is, if I'm not mistaken, it was Theodore Levitt. Nasabi niya dati is about marketing myopia. And what does it say? Ang sabi dun is, we have this tendency as people, tayo, mga gustong magnegosyo, we're always thinking that we have the right product in mind, that we have the right service in mind, and once we launch it in the market, it's going to be successful. He demystified that. Sabi niya is, no, you shouldn't be looking at it that way. You should look at the market first. Take a look at your environment, take a look around, and look for what is missing. You have to have a very observant eye for this. Your eyes and ears will play a big role in determining kung ano ba yung puputok at ano ba yung yung magiging flop. So to answer, I guess to summarize it all boils down to what is the market needing, and then you go on to the second, third questions, that can I do it, and then third question is, can it be sustainable? I think hindi kulang yung oras ng isang araw for us to talk about how do you really manage it, because it's not that simple. Marami talagang kailangan pag-aralan. It requires a lot of your diligence, a lot of your feasibility studies later on. I know that they're still doing things like that, especially business students. It really pays a lot for you to study first. So hindi ko masasabi sa inyo na ito ang puputok na business in the next 3 years, in the next 5 years, because it will depend on which environment are you exposed to and which market do you want to really serve. And of course, what resources you have.
Yeah. So very good, sir. I think that's looking for opportunity even now, even at their stage, or students in whatever stage you are now. If you have that myopic mind, what you're saying, myopic eye to see the opportunity, well, and then, syempre, again, guts to look into it na talagang it will help you in doing business. Tama naman, sir, Tama naman. It's more than, ang medyo mahirap kasi sa atin, sir, yung parang tayo, ang Pilipino, medyo takot tayo mag-business. Well, I don't know if this a tradition ba yan or experience.
Correct. Yun nga po, I also like to emphasize that sa mga estudyante din. Kids, I'm so happy na we are talking to you right now, but it is very important na baguhin nyo yung mindset ninyo. Na you should not just, tama si Doc Ed kanina jump into entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is the backbone of any economy. I have been blessed to have worked in other countries then. At you can see the difference talaga ng merong mga bata na may entrepreneurial mindset, and you can see the reflection in their economy. Yung mga estudyante namin dati, talagang negosyo yung pinupuntahan nila. They don't want to work for another. They want to be their own boss.
Yes,
and
yes.
you will see the reflection in their country's economy.
Ang attitude kasi natin mga Pinoy, pagkaka-graduate, maghanap ng trabaho. Yan ang ating mentality, not para maging entrepreneur. So, yun dapat ang mabago sa atin.
Yes. Yeah. Well, there are so much thing. Balikan natin, sir. Park muna natin yung marketing. Pero I think, Sir Bonnie, you are here, Sir Bonnie. In terms of people, kung mag-hire naman tayo, well, given that we are already the entrepreneurs and we are to hire people, kung kayo yung tatanungin, sir, ano yung mga factors or ano yung mga bagay na hahanapin nyo sa isang aplikante or to the people that you want to work with?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to answer that from the mind frame of the social sciences, since my background really is anthropology, but I'm going to relate how anthropology is used in business organization. So of course, prior to me speaking, Dr. Ed and Sir Brian have already shared something that has implications to the contributions of anthropology to the study of business, particularly on what it means to be human. Basically, anthropology is what it means to be human. So let me take a look at this in relation to your question. Although I prepared a different thing, I was anticipating you to ask me a different one in relation to Dr. Ed's. But nevertheless, I will try to connect the relevance of the social sciences, specifically in anthropology, with the business environment, specifically the controllership, for example. So in hiring people, we basically it is grounded on the thing that what makes this individual an applicant something that can be very contributory to what the purpose or the goal of the organization is. So we set up job specifications, and based on the job descriptions, and we try to fit that particular characteristic of that individual or that applicant into the job that we want him or her to perform. However, we live in a very complex and a very changing society. Our culture evolves, our values change from time to time due to the influences of the social media. So all of these outside forces or the external forces not only defines or reconfigures the organization, but also the attitude of the applicants or even the employees. So it's very, very important that organizations or business, whether you are into entrepreneurship, or into hiring people in the service sector or whatever, we have to be more open. The organizations have to look into the flexibility of things, the Internet of Things, for example. So these are all in consideration of the changing behavior of possible employees. So, for example, I have here our organizations are really designed for achieving a certain value. So that value is very much related to the mission and the vision of the organization. So it's basically the unique purpose of the organization. Of course, we know for a fact that the business organization is really, really for the purpose of the bottom line, the revenue, increasing it, etc. So, and this is produced indirectly or indirectly with the available resources. Pero kung titingnan nyo, although the expected outcome is the increase in the revenue, this will not be possible without looking into the services, into the behavior of the market. Just like, for example, sabi ni Brian, it's not simply about what is the right product in mind, but you look into the market. So, for example, the role of anthropology would come into, say, for example, designing the product, choosing the font, choosing the right color for that, or how to advertise that. So I think it is contributory into the bottom line eventually. I think that's all.
Yeah, thank you sir for that. Actually, as complex as it is, kasi tao talaga, komplikado talaga yan, mas komplikado kaysa relationship. Ay, de joke lang po. Yung yeah. Sir, yung ano yung comment mo in terms of, 'di ba, career mismatch or job mismatch, career mismatch? How can we help address that, or kung di man talaga maalis, at least minimize that? Kasi I think that's aside, 'di ba? Nag-usapan natin it's more of the human capital. Yun yung isang malaking concern natin nowadays that maraming trabaho technically pero hindi mag-match sa kanilang background Ano kaya yung pwede nating sir i-suggest doon?
Ako po?
Yes sir.
I think no, it's there are a lot of factors. I think that that is contributory into the mismatch. Like for example, our educational system in the Philippines. It's unfortunate that we produce graduates, say for example, who are nurses, and then yet they end up working in the BPOs, for instance. No, aside from the educational system, I think the fault here of our, not really fault, but I mean, what is one thing or lacking by our government is by looking simply at organizations as economic organizations. No? I think it's nice that we explore the idea that organizations or business organizations are cultural emitters. Actually, no, what do we mean by that? No, they are not just simply for financial gains and others, but companies now. Take for example what is they're doing in the Silicon Valley. No? So they are not really a lot. I think a lot of companies there are not really into the standard, like you go to office 8 to 5. So perhaps by providing this flexibility in the concept and in designing our educational system, because I think we are offering mga obsolete courses, and then we are not at par with what is going on around the world now. Then perhaps we will be able to at least control this job mismatch.
Sir
Yeah.
Jix said.
Let's go. Let's go.
I
Sir
also
Jix, sige, ma'am.
pwedeng mag-add kay Sir
Go ahead, Miss
kay Sir
Abby.
Bonnie. Parang yung question mo parang career mismatch, maganda rin sana na i-improve natin yung industry linkages ng mga universities. That's why we have that offices in the university. Basically, is to know what the industry needs. So it's good to enhance or strengthen yung relationship natin with the industry. That's why para matugunan talaga yung pangangailangan ng doon sa market. Ano ba talaga ang skills? Ano ba talaga yung kailangan ng labor market, so that universities can continue to develop skills in their students. So yun, kasi I remember when I was in the industry before, yung aming mga OJT students, we really need to train them first. Give them some training before they can start working. Of course, training is important, but if our students are already able to do it with less training, it is much cheaper and more useful, more helpful sa mga industries natin. So that's all that I want to add.
Yeah.
Sir
Doc
Sir
George.
Jix, parang yung comment ko naman has something to do with the demand pool, no? Kasi parang lahat ng questions natin revolve around that eh. A while ago you asked about ano yung magandang product, magandang service, 'di ba? And then there's also a question about yun nga yung mismatch. If you will look at it, pati yung binanggit ngayon ni Miss Lovely, it revolves around what we call the demand pool. Parang a lot of people kasi when they have the idea, what they do is they push the product to the market. They push the product to the market. Oh, maganda to, di ba? So you will push it. Ang natutunan ko sa company ko ngayon, Toyota. Toyota is focused on the pull of the market. Ano ba ang nagmamatter sa market? So if you have the market in mind, then everything will be easier. So in the sense, for example, ng demand, no one is telling naman kasi our students yung real score eh. And you cannot blame naman the schools kasi there was a time that I was speaking with a forum of TESTA just like this one, and I was telling the NEDA people, NEDA people, you should be the one to tell us ano ba talaga yung need ng market, because of course you cannot blame the schools if there is an enrollment, for example, a massive enrollment in hospitality management. Whether walang hotel dyan sa lugar na yan, nasa liblib na pook yan. They want to take up hotel, I will build a hotel and restaurant management program. Kasi profit-oriented ang mga school natural, it's a business, right? Pero if you have guidelines, hindi katulad dati nung hindi nyo pa naabutan yun eh. Mga time ng Soviet Russia na, okay, this guy, chess player, sky athlete. Alam mo 'yun, planado talaga ng government kung saan ka mapupunta. Hindi yung kung ano yung in demand, everybody goes there, no? So,
Mm.
if we take a look outside, 'di ba? Looking outside, yun nga yun, the demand pool, whatever is being asked by the market, then let the demand pool whatever we have to offer. Hindi yung ipipilit mo sa market kung ano yung dapat na I mean yung sa tingin mong dapat. Kasi sometimes you're a generation too early. Look at Tesla, dying very poor. Look at Macintosh in the beginning, no? Wala siya sa timing eh. Pero pag nasa timing ka, everything goes into plan. Ayan, yun yung point.
Well, I agree with you, Sir Doc George, kasi on the education part naman, we have always, before we offer a specific program or course, meron tayong industry comments eh. I mean, parang we have a feedback. Actually, we have feasibility study pa nga before we offer a program or a course. So, I think medyo mahirap din lang talaga yung industry natin nowadays kasi nga parang it goes with the flow. It goes with the flow. Kung ano yung in, then yun yung i-offer, di ba? Sir Bry, sige, Sir Bry.
Ayan, thank you po. Actually, yun nga rin, parang pareho kami ng point kanina ni Doc George nga din eh. This about demand pool. You have to understand what the market wants. Pero ito yung maganda. I don't want to point fingers kasi to be honest, malaki rin nga talaga yung pagkukulang natin governance-wise eh. Totoo yung sinasabi ni Doc George kanina about centrally planned economies like Russia before na talagang dito ka pupunta dahil yan yung strength mo. Nagawa natin yun eh. But we cannot do that right now sa democratic economy. Tapos isa pa nga, it has become systemic. But meron pa rin, may mga caveats pa rin. There's something good that is happening. Ito nga yung topic natin about the digital revolution. Actually, jobs are out there. At ang maganda with the digital revolution is you're not just confined to the Philippines in looking for a job.
Yeah.
There are so many opportunities in the online world na pwede nyong pasukin. Just the other day, to the students who are watching, Lovely Vidal is the other half of the Vidal who's talking to you right now. The reason I mentioned her is because the other day, she was looking at, what was that site again? AdWork, something like that.
Upwork.
Upwork. She was looking at Upwork and I was telling her, naghahanap ka pa ng sideline hindi ka na nga magkaintindihan sa trabaho mo ngayon. But the point that I'm making is there are a lot of jobs that the digital market is offering to us right now. And there's a lot of skills that you can learn in the online world na magagamit mo rin. How many, meron tayong dyan, may fina-follow nga ako na YouTuber from Lyceum si Batangenya. I don't know if estudyante natin siya. Kilala niyo yun? I don't know if you know her. Si Batangenya siya yung puntong Batangenya. But,
yeah, I heard
yun. Yeah, nakakatuwa yung batang. I don't know kung estudyante natin siya, Sir Jix. But,
she works in Quezon City and then she speaks
the heavy accent Batangenya from I don't know, parang somewhere in Nasugbo or whatever. Anyway, point being said, ang daming opportunities in the online world at it behooves again upon the students. Kahit naman kami ganun din kami you can seek for it instead na mahaba ang oras mo sa YouTube o mahaba ang oras mo sa Facebook or Instagram. Try to learn other courses, try to look for opportunities online because there's a lot of them out there.
And yeah, nowadays, freelancing is really, kumbaga, ang dali nang maging freelancer na. Kung ayaw mong mag-work, ayaw mong mag-work sa company o kaya naman ayaw mag-put up your own business, then just be a freelancer. But again, we'll go back doon sa kailangan meron tayong skills muna. So, maganda, kailangan, hindi talaga natin maalas na, wag na lang akong mag-aral at mag-freelancer na lang. Studies is really very important. So, yun. If you go to Upwork na nga, yung nasabi nga ni Brian, nagtitingin ako dun sa Upwork. Ang daming demands. Ang mga positions is virtual assistant, something like that, or data entry specialist. But of course, you need to know how those processes is done para makapag-freelancer ka.
Yeah. Yes, thank you for that. Sir, ito naman, Sir Arnold, tanungin ko naman sa iyo. So since we are talking about career mismatch, how can we sustain that motivation being, for example, for now, motivation on the side of the students to pursue and continue what they're doing kahit pa pandemic. Then for them, kasi we are talking about the end almost end or outcome of what we are doing now. Pero if we are to talk it now, kumbaga, if we are to put ourselves now on the students' situations, that there are lots of circumstances happening now. How can, well, sir, can you share some insight on how we can, how they can at least sustain that fire in their hearts to continue?
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon to everyone. Job mismatch is one of major issues nowadays. Problema kasi natin, it's the availability of work when it comes to during the face-to-face period. It's more of the availability of work. So medyo kaya nagkakaroon ng job mismatch. Those who are graduate of a certain course, they are not focusing on what they have finished, but just to have a work. Parang period, wala na tayong pag-uusapan. Parang it's just most likely na kumita lang. If the person or the graduate is a graduate of nursing, kahit pa siya ay licensed nurse, the student will still pursue for production, manufacturing, but it's not in line with medicine or in line with hospital administration. So kaya nagkakaroon ng job mismatching, it's because of the availability of the opportunity for every students or for every graduates that the market could offer. Ano yung kanina pong binabanggit kanina ni Sir Jixel, ni Sir Bonnie, ni Sir Brian and Sir Bonnie, that there is all that the company or the businesses should always look for what to offer in the market. It's not just merely about what really is in demand or ano ba yung hinahanap nila lang, ano yung kailangan, what are the qualities that they need, but it's more of what are the qualifications that they need. So kaya nagkakaroon ng job mismatch is yun yung una, the job opportunity. Second, when we talk about the job mismatch, we're talking about also the availability of skills versus the course that the student have finished, and what are the things that can be done in a particular in related to job description or duties and responsibilities. Kasi there are mismatch when it comes to not only with the job mismatching, but also the skills and the talent mismatch. Kasi there are students, sabi nga kanina ni Ma'am Lovely, that you should have the skills first. Kahit graduate ka kasi ng isang kurso na napakaganda, and you are just studied the course without the proper training, without the proper opportunity for the students to grow when it comes to development of the skills, parang sayang lang yung natapos, sayang lang yung kurso, sayang lang yung sana na skills na nag-improve sa estudyante. So for those students who are with us this afternoon, it's not only just looking of what we can do, but also looking on the brighter side, what are the things that we can't do, but we can do, in the possibility that we can really get or create another skills or create another ventures for us to look forward after graduation. Na wag tayong pumako, wag nating ipako yung sarili natin kung ano lang yung alam natin. Kailangan we must work on the skills that we know and we believe in ourselves that we can do. Lalo ngayon yung sinasabi kanina, yung Upwork na sinasabi, isa na ako doon, isa ako sa tumitingin doon, Miss Love, Sir Bry, isa na ako. But I have these 3 platforms. Ako po ay isang freelance din. But take note ako po at sa mga estudyante natin, I am a professional teacher, at the same time small-time entrepreneur, but I'm still looking for something that is beyond, di ba? Beyond of what I used to do. So yung ginagawa ko ngayon, naghanap pa ako kung ano pa ang pwedeng pagkakitaan. It's not merely about what to earn, but it's what I could learn more, 'di ba? Sa aming mga professionals, 'di ba, parang sapat na may trabaho kami, kumikita kami ng maganda, but it's not one way for us to stop because learning is a continuous process. So I hope
Amen.
that every students that we
Oh.
have here is sana nakakuha kayo ng konting learning about it. Maraming salamat.
Sir, I think yung word na gamitin natin dun is upskilling. Tama ba? Upskilling. Parang you are improving your skills. Ano? I think I want to continue that premise, Sir Arnold, that what we have now as is lalo na students, well, whom we are watching our students, aside from putting up a tangible or literal business, Sir Bri, ano yung mga possible opportunities that we will have now? Kasi estudyante sila, so stay at home. Though, again, virtual, online sila. Ano yung maganda nilang gawin kung titingnan natin as of the moment as students? Ano yung mga opportunities?
Okay, so thank you. To answer that, Sir Jix, I will ride on the sinasabi ni Sir Arnold. You have to upskill yourself. Upskill muna. In the digital world, it's not for everyone. But it will be for someone na merong digital skills. For example, in coding, as old as a skill it is. Hanggang ngayon may mga naghahanap pa rin ng mga data entry, sa data entry marami pa rin mga ganun. Sa social media, you can do lots of things, and you can be an influencer. Diba? I think you have last week, meron yatang webinar Lyceum about how to become an influencer. Diba? Ang dami. What's good about the digital world is it opens up a lot of opportunities kasi bine-breakdown niya yung mga business processes into small ones. For example, kahit simple order taking lamang sa dati, simple delivery na ginagawa dati ng mga restaurants. Nahahati-hati na yan. You can have, right now, you have Uber. All of these are all based on the digital platforms, diba? So, what I'm saying is, grow yourself first with the right skills that will fit the digital world, and then you will always have an opportunity out there.
Yes, and I also want to add, even learning a new language right now, because we're in the globalization era. So I often also see translating jobs. So naalala ko lang kasi my eldest daughter, she's studying. Meron siyang app na ginagamit, nag-aaral siya ng Spanish. So, even that, sabi ko, in-encourage ko siya. Sabi ko, sige anak, ipagpatuloy mo yan at balang araw, mapapakinabangan mo yan. Malay mo, maging translator ka. So, as students who wants to have another hobby, you can make this your, kumbaga, special activity na pwedeng mapakinabangan mo. Learn a new language. O, mamaya, kinakausap mo na yung parents mo in French. Or
Exactly.
in Chinese, diba? So that's another thing that you can push through.
Can I add something more pala?
Speaking of French, baka meron who would like to have translated to French. I speak French.
meron sir kasing app. There's an app na talagang free lang siya. It's a free app, and any language you can study and learn.
Yeah, but if you want a real translation, I can maybe. No, I'm just offering my services.
Ayun, Sir Jix, can I add also something? Pero bago ako mag-add, mga classmate namin sa PhD na miss na namin si Ma'am Che, Dr. Ray, nagpapa-shoutout. So, informally, we're sending our shoutouts for them. Tapos po, ano pa lang, ito, I'm not kidding about this. We're talking about opportunities. Although this one is something illegal, borderline illegal. There are mga websites that can help you, quote unquote, prepare your assignments. Di ba? And we have learned here in the university na marami kami mga estudyante na bumabayad doon. This is from a student, mga students namin who's hiring somebody from India to write their assignments for them.
I
And
know
they're
some
paying,
people here.
and
in
they're
Lupa.
making money. Well, it's borderline illegal, but yun yung gray area pa ngayon in the internet. But this just goes to show us kung gaano karami talaga ang opportunities out there.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for sir for that ano. So for the students who are watching us, streaming us, so I think you are thinking now of the possible opportunities you have. Yung iba, I just want to commend those who are doing online selling. Ayan. So ito lang na safe kayo. Ano? Ayan. At saka yung mga may mga business initiatives, pagpatuloy niyo lang. Marami mang kayong nakakasalubong na challenges, pagpatuloy niya lang. Sabi nga ni Dr. Ed kanina, it takes a lot of guts to continue to pursue it. Ano? Sir Bri, you want to share us about stock market? Para naman may specific topic tayo. How about your experience about stock market? How you, kwento mo kami ng konti, paano ka ba na-involve, paano ka nag-start, and then, how are you experiencing it now?
Okay, so ito po ay isang tragedy sharing na ibibigay sa mga estudyante natin. Now, seriously, we have our ups and downs din. I started investing way back 2012. So we're going almost 10 years na in investing. May ups and downs talaga. In the beginning, we were just thinking na let's just try it. Pero lumaki siya. Especially when we hit yung 8,800 point mark sa PSE noon. Yeah, we were really making money. And then this unwelcome guest came and ate everything up. It ate everything up, literally. Ano nga lang I was expecting na dito ako mag-share sa part na to. But will you mind it if I put my screen for a bit?
Sure, sir. Sure.
Okay. I'll just share to you kung ano ang itsura ngayon. Where is it? Okay. I opened it earlier. So if you can see my screen right now, this is kita nyo ba ang pula? And everything is saying down, sideways, down, up, Philippine mining, which I don't invest in. Lahat yan yung mga available na companies that are listed in the PSE. And you see that all of them are down. Kaya hindi na rin ako masyado nagtitingin araw-araw in the stock market. But now I kind of lost. Pag nakikita ko to, nawawala talaga ako sa huwisyo eh. Dahil ngayon, ang takbo ng stock market natin is not really something that you can comment about. It's all on the downswing. And I'll just remove it. Mahirap na. Baka may magaling na estudyante mag-hack ang account ko. Maubos ang 10 piso kong nasa, just kidding. Anyway, it's like that. The PSE is down right now. And if, sabi ni Warren Buffett before, pagka ganyan, when there's blood on the streets, invest on the stock market. Well, I'd like to demystify that, at least for now, kasi hindi siya magandang paglagyan ng pera at the moment. You will find yourself sinking pagka ngayon mo siya nilagay. Although it is a good time nga, sabi nga, pagka there's blood on the street, you should invest. Kung yan ay temporary na blood on the streets. But as long as this pandemic is foregoing, it's not really a good idea to invest right now. And actually, kanina sinusulat ko, yung magpipresent sana ako ng isang slide, but I just like to keep it short. Kasi there are some things that I really want to share sa mga estudyante about this. Kasi kung hindi ka open for business, you can do other things. And these investment opportunities are always out there. But you have to be very careful and you have to learn some lessons. And ang kauna-unahang lesson dyan is, una-una, you have to be disciplined and you have to change your mindset. Kasi if I will ask right now, yung mga viewers natin ng mga estudyante, how many of you have, for example, some savings in the bank or in your wallets? You can post it on YouTube. Yeah, yung mga estudyante natin. Sir Bonnie, Doc Bonnie, I'm sure you have got millions already, so hindi ka na.
No, just
Anyway,
enough to survive.
just enough to survive. Anyway, it's like that. Kung ang pera mo ay nasa bangko, it's well and good na meron kang pera sa bangko because you can use it for the rainy days. The stock market is not your bank. It's an
Okay
investment.
pala yung bank. Okay.
It's actually, a bank is as good as safeguarding your money and saving it for emergency purposes. But the stock market is a business. Kanina sinulat ko is like, the stock market is like is like when a grocery store and a horse race got a kid or have a kid. Parang nung nag-asawa si yung horse racing at saka yung grocery, ang naging anak nila is the stock market. Now, what do I mean by that? Kasi
Gambling.
ang stock market naman kasi is like you're also buying and selling. You're buying and selling uncertainties. You are buying and selling
You are
risk.
gambling, no?
Yun ang binebenta mo. And now, why related to horse racing? The horse is the business. Yung hinete, that's the CEO of the company. That's the management of the company. That's how it goes. So, kailangan mo maging disiplinado. You have to be disciplined. You have to earn you have to make some due diligence. I'm sure tinuturo pa rin natin ngayon yung environmental analysis and micro and macro environmental analysis. Those are very important sa stock market. Kailangan mo pag-aralan talaga yung industry noong company na gusto mong bilhin. At kailangan mong pag-aralin internally kung sino ba yung mga tao dun sa loob at ano yung niluluto nila. Ano ba yung mga plano nila for that company? Because that's how you are going to make money in the stock market. But then again, these are all riddled with uncertainties. Kasi in as much as the Securities and Exchange Commission asks for transparency sa mga companies, hindi mo rin naman talaga alam completely kung anong nangyayari doon sa loob ng company. I'll give you one example before I end this one. Look at Dito. Yung Dito Telecom, the third na ba or fourth telco ang Dito? I think the third telco. You know, when it started trading, it was 2 piso, 2 piso per share. And then it hit up 8 pesos and everyone was making a killing. And then umakyat pa yata. I'm not checking. I'm not sure kung magkano na ngayon ang stock price niya. But everyone was riding on it. Everyone was riding on it. Even the corporate traders were riding on it. Yung iba, nagahaman. What they did is, they jumped the bandwagon. Sabi na tatas pa ng tatas yung Dito eh. But they did not know na yung karamihan ng investors ng Dito are corporate traders. Which means they hold volumes of investments in Dito. And pagka hit na nila yung profit target nila, ibebenta nila yung stocks na yon, biglang babagsak yung presyo nun Dito. And it happened. So yung iba, while they were making a killing kasama ng mga corporate traders, yung iba, nung sumakay sila ng mga 8 pesos na yung Dito at biglang bumagsak, ang sabi nila, ano nangyari? Ano nangyari? They did not know. So again, point being mentioned here, you have to work on your due diligence before you invest in the stock market. Pero maganda rin ang stock market. Unfortunately, sa Pilipinas kasi limited yung investment opportunities natin eh. Forward and futures, wala tayong mga ganong hedge, hindi masyado. We have mutual funds, but we don't have that much people investing, for example, in commodities like gold. Wala tayong mga ganun masyado eh. And finally, what I want to tell is this. Kauna-unahan ko niligay doon sa slide ko kanina na hindi ko na lang ipe-present is that many people are thinking that if you are trading in the stock market, yayamanin. Not really. Not really. As a matter of fact, ikaw ay isang masinop. When you invest in the stock market, ikaw ay isang masinop na tao na you are very concerned with every peso that you save or that you earn. Kasi yung stock market is, again, it's a business. Although riddled with a lot of risks, you can become profitable like what George sir was saying earlier, on the right time. Yun. So, yun lang po muna.
Thank you, Sir Bri, for that. Ayan, para lang at least matutuwa yung mga estudyante, sir, kasi I'm about to upload my lecture on fundamental analysis, steps of doing company analysis. So parang ganun. And it was supported here. So thank you for that. Pero sir, yung comment ko naman dun sa dito, siguro it's low for now kasi hindi rin tama yung timing yung pasok niya aside from political, Pero kasi sir, if you are to look into naman with the competitor, direct competitor with the PLDT and the Globe, with PLDT and the Globe, laki naman ng difference. So talagang if you are future looking, talagang it will take time for you to have that. Yan. Kasi di ba, PLDT is about 2,000 pesos per share. Yan, 10 pesos pala. So 2,000 pesos ang competitor niyan, PLDT. Ang Globe, I think 1,500. So again, look into Globe and PLDT, gano'n na sila katagal. So yeah, so thank you for that insights, Sir Bry. And for us to at least minimize or manage risk, Ma'am Lovely, well, talk about risk, about managing risk, business as a whole, and if you want to support or to add to Sir Bry in terms of ano ba yung being frugality in doing this business, kasi considering the risk is there.
Okay. I'm not really an expert, may disclaimer. Nakapagtrabaho lang po ako as a risk manager sa isang bangko. So, I'll be talking about my experience as a risk manager doon. So, actually, ang risk, it cannot be, alam naman nating lahat, risk cannot be totally eliminated. It can only be minimized. Yun lang, kasi laging may risk. Kahit sa ang aspeto ng ating buhay, there's always risk. How much more businesses? So, since it cannot be really eliminated, kailangan natin siyang i-manage talaga. So, every business, especially now at the digital age, kailangan talaga ng risk management kasi masyado nang mabilis ang development, technological development is so fast, hindi natin alam what will, anong bubulaga sa atin susunod. So, it's really important to prepare for these risks. Actually, that is risk management You are tinitingnan mo ano ba yung mga pwedeng maging risk ng business in this situation. So ang situation natin ngayon, of course, meron tayong pandemic on one side, meron tayong digital age on the other side, and globalization. So talagang madaming risks. Now, how to manage them? Una, kailangan, if you have business, kailangan alamin mo ano tong mga risks. Technically, ang tawag natin dyan, risk assessment So, mahirap ba yung risk assessment? Hindi, aalamin mo lang kung ano yung mga risk. Ngayon, paano mo aalamin? So, kailangan hindi lang yung top ang involved dyan. Yung top, middle, even the lower employees. In other words, kailangan merong representations ang bawat level ng management para makakontribute in brainstorming ano ba ang risk universe. Technically, ang tawag natin risk universe. Risk universe means yung lahat ng pwedeng mangyari sa business mo. Okay. For example, university. Pag nawalan ba ng kuryente, tuloy ang teaching? Siguro. Kung gumagamit ka ng, at this time, kung online kayo, baka hindi. Diba? Sa bangko, pag ba na-hack yung system mo, tuloy ba ang operations? So those are risks. No? That's part of identifying. So yun yung una, i-assess mo muna ano yung mga risk mo. After mo may assess, magagawa ka ngayon ng strategy. So ito yung mga risk natin. Pag ito nangyari, anong gagawin natin? So yun yung risk strategies na sinasabi. So ang nagsaset niyan, kayo lahat, hindi lang yung nasa sa top. Of course, the top management will always approve. Itong strategy natin, they will approve it. So like that, when you have in this risk strategy, ang term natin dyan, meron tayong business continuity plan. Almost all governments now, I think all countries now are, kumbaga, nire-require nila ng mga businesses, they should have this BCP or business continuity plan para kung mangyari yung risk, alam mo kung ano ang gagawin mo. hindi titigil yung operation ng business mo kasi meron kang plan how to go around that risk when it happened. This BCP, it should be tested, it should be approved, it should be continuously improved. So yun yung part, that's part of minimizing your risk. You should be prepared and you should have this business continuity plan. Then pag meron ka na niyan, pag meron ka na ng plan, kailangan naman iset nyo yung inyong appetite. Ang tawag dyan, risk appetite. Kumbaga, hanggang saan ang kaya ng business na i-absorb. For example, because of this risk, nawawalan ka ng customers. Hanggang ilang customer ang kayang i-absorb ng business mo to continue operating. So yun yung appetite. Hanggang saan? Anong stress level ng business mo? Iset nyo yon, yung risk appetite na yon, so that you will be assured that your business will continue to operate. And then monitor based on this appetite. So that's that's risk management. Yun yung basic nung risk management. So at this digital age, meron din tayong tinatawag na digital risks. So andyan na yung mga cyber hacking, andyan na yung mga at natatakot tayo kasi nga baka ma-hack, baka merong mga cyber crimes na mangyari. Andyan na yung mga data privacy, baka makuha yung mga information ng ating mga customers. So this just the same, ganun pa rin naman ang basics ng risk management. That's how we are going to minimize it. Iba't iba ang risk depending on the situation, but the basics of risk management, as I have told you, is the same. So I think that's how we manage. Again, we cannot totally eliminate it. We can just manage it. And at this point of time, in the digital age, risk management is one of the important things I think that if we have businesses, we should be doing.
Yeah. See, ma'am, I believe it's also one of the responsibilities of the business to the stakeholders to have that business continuity plan in case everything falls apart. Kaya bang ituloy? Parang gano'n, ano? Sige.
Yes,
well,
yes, sir.
Risk. Again, hindi talaga ma-eliminate ang risk kasi there is always risk involved. Yan. So may comment tayo. We all know that entering a world of business is not easy at all. Starting business is a big risk. Sometimes it will work and sometimes it will not. And let me use again the word of Dr. Ed, it will take lot of guts with so much S. Ayan, alam nyo, dear students, if you want to, brave, determined, and prepared, so continue to do where you are right now. Ano? Kung ikaw ay nag-aaral, mag-aaral kang mabuti. Kasi again, that will be your foundations para maging matapang ka. Kasi mahirap lumaban nang wala kang dalang sandata. Ayun. Ano? Okay, so I'm almost wrapping up, my dear classmates and dear students, in terms of this business forum on our business management in the digital age. Nabanggit sa atin ni Sir Bry, it's not a good time to invest in stocks. Well, kasi it's pandemic. Ano? Hindi natin kasi alam until when this pandemic will end. Pero if it is in a normal setup na kapag down ang pag down ng ating business, sabi nga when it rains it pours, pero ngayon flood talaga to bagyo talaga so I think kahit anong gawin natin wala tayong what we can do is to be positively resilient about our situation. So ayan. Sige, Doc Ed.
May dagdag lang ako tungkol doon sa the next 30 years, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because I'm very much concerned with regards to our younger generation between 25 to 35 years old who are now taking their college or master's degree. According to the presentation from the economist from the University of Asia and the Pacific, whom I also graduated my economics in the University of Asia and the Pacific. I found out that this new report, as far as the next 30 years infrastructure projects in the Philippines will give a good opportunity for those who are still now taking their college degrees or master's degree or their doctorate degree, the opportunities to invest in entrepreneurship or be a contractor, a consultant, or somebody who can help enhance this project to materialize. Because according to expert, it will be for the Filipinos. So if that's the case, then we should be involved. If people other than Filipinos are very much interested in coming in and invest in that project, how about us? Don't tell us that we don't have the money, but we have the capabilities, we have the resources in ourselves as talents and skills. There are people like Henry C., who started from scratch. Then other tycoons like the one who just passed away, the owner of the Robinson, they also started from scratch. Lo Xiutan also started from scratch. So we better start from scratch, that we are now on scratch. Because I know for sure that if we are starting on that particular point, then there is that kind of what I said before, guts for you to be successful. And please put that in your mind, that there is always at risk. But if you know how to do the processing of risk, then you still can succeed. And by risking, according to Ma'am Lovely, it needs that you can identify what should be the risk, and then assess that risk, and then mitigate, then monitor, and then apply. That's the only thing that you'll be successful in doing that. So there is a process to be used. And how do you know about that process? Well, educating yourself. And by educating, it means that you have to continue with your studies, just like me. You know, how old am I now? I am 75 years old, but I'm still taking my PhD. This is my 6th PhD. So in other words, education is continuous. Not only continuous, but contagious, just like the virus. So that's my challenge for you. So you have all the opportunity because you are young, like Sir, very young. Sir Brian,
Thank you
very
for that. Yeah, thank you for that. I'm hoping that our live streamers are getting that point, to really upskill, to invest on yourself, to start business. Again, ang medyo mahirap talaga sa atin now, as early as now, is to shift our perspective from being employee to being entrepreneur. Tama yung sinabi ni Sir Bry, that the opportunity is here. It's always there. What we need to do is to have that eye to look into that opportunities. And kung ang tanong ay which is the right product or right strategy or right services we will offer, I think the best and the right product, the right services that we will offer is the one that we will offer. Tama? Kasi kung hindi mo naman i-offer yun, walang mangyayari sa atin. Yeah. And understandable that there is a career mismatch. Understandable that there is career mismatch. Kasi again, lots of factor as our Sir Bonnie shared to us, anthropologically speaking, the background and the complexity of the human, di ba? So, ayan, maraming factors talaga na-share nga ni Sir Arnold, yung mga factors that just for the sake na makapagtrabaho and then that's it. Bahala na si Batman. Parang ganon. So, tayo ang role natin as you are now in your education. So hopefully you are building your foundation, you are building your career, you are building or you're investing to yourself. So sana ay gamitin natin ng ayos yan in the future endeavors that we will do or we will have. Sir Brian also shared to us that as of the moment again, stocks or stock investment are not ideal now. Kasi talagang madugo. So hindi kung nagkatanungan niya kami nung last week, ang term na ginamit namin ay Valentine's Day ngayon. Valentine's Day ngayon kasi madugo. So Valentine's Day pa ngayon. Again, it's also mainly because of the pandemic kasi lahat naman talaga tinamaan ng pandemic. Pero kung hindi pandemic, the red market signals a good time to invest if it is not a pandemic setup. And to mitigate or to at least minimize that risk, our Madam Lovely, the better half of the bidan, shared to us how to do the risk management in business. The principle itself, alam nyo, napakaganda nitong risk management na to kasi if you are familiar with the risk management, magkakaroon ka ng confidence to pursue business kasi siya yung parang pinaka-defense mo. Parang you are doing the offense, moving forward with the strategies that we laid out. And then the defense is your risk management strategies. Yun na nga, and Doc Ed challenged us to continue our learning process. And let me end by, if we are not learning, then we are dying. Alam nyo, in this time and age that everything is digital, maraming opportunities ang nandito sa atin. What we need to do is to grab that opportunity, again, to stand up, to look into this, So, naapektuhan yung economy natin. Paano, Sir Brian, may pahabol palang chat dito, Paano po kami pipili ng stock na malaki yung chance na mag-earn pa rin at di masyadong naapektuhan ng current situation?
Ang sasagot na niyan si Sir Jix pag nagturo siya sa inyo ng technical analysis.
Ng technical. Anong tanong niya?
Ano po sir, ano daw po yung magandang piliin na stock na mataas yung chance pero mababa? Sir George, sagutin ko lang muna. I think yung nagtanong ito, balikan mo lang yung risk return principle na itinuro ko. Kasi if you're looking pero low risk, I think that's a scam. Wag mo kalimutan yun. That's a scam.
Risk sa return theory. Risk return.
Yeah. It goes along. The higher the risk, the higher the return. Yun talaga yun. And yun na nga, balikan natin yung principle na binigay ni Ms. Davdi that there is a return, high risk, pero to mitigate it, you need to prepare for it as well. For technical analysis, ibato ko na lang kay Doc George, mas master niya yun
Si Doc
yun
George
yung susunod namin topic pa naman kasi fundamental. Tapos na yung fundamentals Pero hindi, gusto ko rin din mag-comment yung kay Sir Brian kasi tama naman yung mga sinabi ni Sir Brian basta babalansin lang natin kasi ayaw din naman nating sabihin talaga outright na talagang masusunog kayo sa stock market pag nagano kayo. Hindi naman talaga ganun ng message namin Basta't lang ang sabihin lang namin, hindi tayo laging all out, lalo na yung sinasabi nga ni Sir Brian kanina, please understand that if meron kayong extrang money, yun ang pwede nyong ilagay sa stock market. Huwag yung tipong kakailanganin nyo tomorrow or kakasal ka na pala next year, gusto mong lumaki ng konti. Hindi ganun ang stock market Talagang pang matagalan talaga yan. So, huwag po ninyong madaliin. Ang stock market, hindi mo kabisado ang mangyayari. Yun nga po ang nangyari ngayon, no? Pero ako, I dare say talaga, sir, na naniniwala pa rin ako sinasabi ni Warren Buffett, kung sino yung mag-i-invest ngayon at kayang mag-survive dito sa situation na to, sila yung pagbawi niyan. Sila ngayon magpo-post sa Facebook na tumaas yung nila. Kasi nga, they risk it all. Kaso nga lang, kailangan mo tama yung sinasabi ni Sir Jix. Kailangan mo lang enough resources doon. Hindi po pwede kasing paano mo ilalagay yung money mo na nakikipila ka sa community pantry, for example? Hindi po pwede, di ba? So, kailangan meron ka talagang ano, di ba? Oo.
Sobra.
Meron talaga. Naku, meron pa nga tanong pa dito, ano eh,
Problem,
about crypto.
problem siguro ngayon. Yan yung magiging problema kasi almost every money or every cash that we have now, shall we say, is appropriated or allocated. Kasi uncertain yung in the coming days eh. That's why nahihirapan siguro or nag-step back tayo in putting those extra sa stock market kasi yung dapat yung panglagay natin eh. Pero dahil nga uncertain yung future, so mag-step back tayo. Parang
Ay,
ganun.
kasi naman,
Tapos,
ano eh, ay, sorry. Sige, Doc George, ka muna.
Sige, sir. Hindi, yung sasabihin ko lang sana dun, yung i-apply niyo yung mga tinuturo natin sa fundamentals na tipong yung price earnings kasi, no? Price earnings. So, pag yung mga companies na yan will remain earning and yung price niya relative to the earnings today is small. And alam natin na after 10 years, 20 years, andiyan pa rin yung mga companies na yan. For example, Jollibee, Ayala Corp. Alam mo na andiyan pa rin naman yan. And if you think that yung kanilang price over earnings is small enough, ngayon yung magandang time bumili. Kasi nga price earnings is small. But as Brian said, hindi mo sure kung bababa pa yun, ha? Gusto ko lang Sir Brian, hindi nyo kasi narinig to. Sa mga estudyante ko, nasasabi ko to eh. Alam nyo ba, nung 2003, bumaba yung isang company from 10 pesos, sabi ko, hindi, sabihin ko na dito dahil sa mga videos ko kasi hindi ko sinasabi muna eh. Meralco went as low as 10 pesos noong 2003. And I was telling my friends from the bank, let us buy Meralco. Meralco yun, hindi naman mawawala yan. And then eventually it went down to 6 pesos. Stayed there for almost half a year. So everybody was telling me, si George, hindi naman pala marunong mag-invest. 6 months tayong nawala, 4,000. No? Pero eventually, yung 6 pesos na yon went to 300 in 10 years. So 50 times in 10 years. So yung mga magte 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, 50 times, watch out nyo, nandoon ngayon sa stock market yon. Pero hindi ngayon. Tama yung sasabi nila. Kaya kailangan may extra money kayo. Kaya nga sinasabi nila, at this time of the year, cash is king. Kung meron kang maraming cash, dyan ka talaga ngayon mag-i-invest. Hindi yung naka-invest na sa, ako yan ang marami ko ring realization eh. Ang dami nating i-invest, no? Cellphone, maraming mga bagay na depreciable assets. Pero kung ngayon ka nag-invest, doon talaga natin matitingnan yan maigi. Yung may nagtatanong sa comment section about crypto, Christopher, no? So, crypto, medyo risky kasi hindi mo naman alam yung background. At least yung mga stocks kasi merong earnings to look into. Parang pwede mong tingnan yung financial statement nila eh. Ang crypto, wala yan eh. So, mabuti pa nga ang foreign currency. Pwede mong tingnan ang halimbawa, yung economy ng bansa, okay, maganda ang transaction ngayon sa kunwari, ang US dollars versus euro. Kung compare mo lang economy ng dalawang bansa, medyo mapipredict mo na eh. Although mahirap din. Pero ang crypto, wala eh. Talagang titingin ka talaga sa technicals niya and hindi ka pa rin sure na talagang,
Sir, sugal yun.
Yun talaga. Yun talaga
Sugal.
ang gambling. Pero kung marunong ka sa technicals, ayoko kasing sir, pag nagturo kasi tayo sa technicals, baka mamaya yung mga bata natin may masunog, sabi. Alam mo yung mga pinagsasabi niya rito, no? Oo, kailangan sabi nga ni kanina, ni Lovely. Alamin niyo muna yung risk appetite niyo, risk tolerance niyo bago kayo papasok diyan. Oo. Kaya ngayon yung sinasabi ni Brian, ganyan ang ginagawa ko eh. Lahat naman Brian bagsak ngayon eh. Ako yung portfolio ko pulang-pula talaga eh. Kaya hindi ko na siya tinitingnan. Pero ang alam ko na since nabili ko siya ng mababang price earnings, alam ko eventually babawi yun. Hindi nga lang ngayon. Talagang kailangan mo siyang i-ride mo yung bear. Pag bumawi na ulit siya yung unang-unang babawi. Parang ganun. Yun lang ang tingin natin. Hopefully.
Actually, bitin nga rin yung nasabi ko rin, Doc George eh. Agree ako din kay Dr. Sen. Yung sinasabi ko na wag ngayon sa stock market, wag ngayon dahil nasa downtrend pa tayo. Pero babawi yan. Just wait for it. Ngayon naman, kung kaya nyo nang i-absorb yung loss, pero natin alam kung gaano karami pang ilo-loss mo.
Mahirap eh.
That's
yun. Todo yan.
Oo, yun talaga kailangan mong paghandaan. But like I've said, and this is still a business. Yung trading in the stock market, it's like, managing your own business too. Kaya i-emphasize ko talaga yung due diligence. Pag-aralan nyo talaga yung kumpanya, internally and externally. Pag-aralan yung industriya, and you will know what will really happen to them sometime in the future. Lahat
Right.
naman ng negosyo, kung tsatsagain mo, uunlad at uunlad yan eh. But you have to know the persons behind it too. So, yun po.
Agree.
Okay. Meron pa last words from our classmates?
Okay, mayroon akong isang paalaala lang.
Go Doc.
Yeah, if you want to be a very good entrepreneur or businessman, you should know or you should learn the language of a gambler. You should learn the language of a gambler, especially those doing some kind of gambling in the casino. If try to recall the movie. I think this was a movie of a student who was very intelligent, and he just used his skill in mathematics. So that's one thing. If you have a good skill in mathematics and you are really consistent and resilient and due diligence, I think you will be successful, especially in stock market. Because in stock, you have always to monitor every day. Because if you will fail one day for monitoring, then tapos ka na. Kaya sabi ni Sir Brian, in-stop mo na niyang monitoring dahil nakikita niya pulang-pula na ang kanyang
Yeah. I think Doc Ed, napanood ko yung movie na yan. I think it's a quite old movie. Yung context niyan is parang baseball. That yung mga tao is just looking into syempre yung physical outlook yung physical ng tao, pero there is someone who introduces a mathematical equation about it, and then doon niya nakita yung mga undervalued na player na mura yung mga player. Tapos sila yung may mga talent. So I think a good movie to start to watch as well. So
I can also give you one example. When I tried to go back to my mathematics just for 1 week, then I found out that my wisdom just go more farther. So meaning to say that you have to continue educating yourself.
Yeah.
So even at my age, I will have to continue, even if I have to take my 7th PhD. Doesn't matter to me.
Tina-challenge yung mga live streamers natin, So, kung ngayon pa lang, umayaw na kayo, mahiya kayo kay Doc Ed. Hindi, joke lang. Sige, so I think with that, we had a good afternoon discussion about, again, business management in the digital age. We discussed different areas in marketing, human capital, in finance, in operations as well, in risk management, and bonus track yung ating stock or capital markets. So hopefully you learn a lot, and again we want to thank you for being with us this afternoon, being active in the chat box. So again, here with us in the platform is Sir Brian Vidal and Miss Lavdi Vidal, the couple from Oman. We have here Sir Bonifacio Train. We have here Doc Ed from the Middle East, UAE. Tama ba, sir? UAE.
Yeah, Dubai.
And we have here Sir Arnold from Lipa, and our very own Professor Dr. George Atento. Thank you for being with us. I'm here pala.
Thank you.
I'm Jixel. I'm Jix Manungsong, and we want to wish you a good day, and hopefully you learn from our experiences. This is nung pinag-usapan namin to, more than the technical, more than the teaching, is we want to share the learning that we have, the learning, the success, and our failures as well. And hopefully you learn, benchmark with our experiences, and that you will progress. So to end, again, thank you very much, and we have a good afternoon for everyone. Thank you.
Stay safe, everyone.
Ingat kayo.
Stay safe and God bless.
May klase pa bukas. Online naman eh.